Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, free enterprise friends, and welcome to, my opinion, one of the best scenes we've ever done here. We are doing the Bard Appreciation Week for our community races this week. I'm Oscar424, and with me is the fantastic Dijon Ketchup. Dijon, how are you today?
I exist. Whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be determined.
You existing is better than you not existing. Quoted for truth. So yes, we are doing Bard Appreciation Week. This is a community race flag set featuring the best Bard, the best character in the game, in my opinion, Edward. Everything on here is related to the Bard in some way, shape, or form. There's a little bit of rudeness with some of the flags we can talk about later on, but for the most part, we're looking at 5 objectives to get the crystal, and that is, even though we start with an Edward, you gotta find another one, you have to defeat the Water Hag, you have to also defeat the Fabul Gauntlet, and complete the Antlion Nest, and required music in Cave Magnus. So what do you think about those flags, or those objectives?
They are objectives, and Water Hag's not gonna be the you can't just find any Water Hag. You gotta find the boss one. Because, sometimes Water Hags, you'll see them in the Fabul Gauntlet or something.
Yes!
But, the game's like, no, that's not gonna work.
Agreed. And I know some people might disagree with me in that Edward is not the best character, so the lovely person that's put these flags together, me, hi, you gotta learn to love the Bard because we have permajoin on, meaning if they're in your party, they stay in your party. And in this case, the first character in the party sticks with you, which is Edward. So we are getting a lot of Bardy goodness today.
Appreciating the Bard is mandatory.
And if you don't, accept your fate. So we are starting today, and joining our Spoony Bard, we have a Cane, and Mom Bomb is giving, oh, well then, we have underground access right away.
Well then. Not a hook route.
Yep, definitely not a hook route. But as you can see, 2 of our featured runners, Poydrek and Kind and Nerdy Housewife, decided to take Cane, so that Cane is permanently in their party, whereas both PK and Zoe chose to let Cane sit on the sidelines for right now. Now, there are free characters here, in addition to a free key item, so we'll see if anybody stops in Troya soon. But maybe they're hoping for a different party setup. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure all of our runners are hoping to find a spoon right away.
And actually, we have already found our sirens in Baron Castle, or Baron Inn, excuse me. Now, it is S Wild and S Quarter, so sirens could have shown up anywhere, and now we know where to find them.
So, who likes Dark Knight Cecil?
Apparently not, it didn't look like Zoe took DKC right now, but Kind and Nerdy Housewife did check Bedward because you have to have Bedward in an Edward seed, and Bedward gave 1/2 of the forage with the Adamant Rock.
It would be great just like a few months ago.
Right? That would have been fantastic in Threema Zone. It looks like we saw, Poydrek has a Sylph Summon that might have been in either they found it or was in the starting kit, I'm not sure. But that is a nice find on Poydrek's side.
And Zoe getting Fur Adamant as well.
Now, it should be noted that in this flag set, there is, it's T standard, but because I like a good joke, it's also T junk, because for some reason, some people don't appreciate Edward as much as I do. They think he might be trash. So T junk is on. The problem is with T-Junk and Escorter, they're not going to have a lot of money. So when you walk into a shop and you see all the really shiny good stuff, you're probably not going to have the money to buy it. It's like that little carrot that's dangling in front of you and you can't just access it yet.
Well, I mean, you can find the carrots in the chests.
Well, yeah, there is that carrot too. Can't forget about that one.
Poydrak opening up his underground.
And meanwhile, we have Kinda Nerdy Housewife checking that free character, and it is a Tella. That is an interesting find, especially because we know where sirens are and how easily accessible they are. Because normally when you think Tella, you think, okay, grind option, fantastic. But since sirens are accessible, this seed might not be the best option for taking a Tella because that permajoin. And I hate to say it, unless you find a spoon, unless you find the spoon, the best item for Edward, you might have two kind of weaker characters in your party. So KNH decided to hold off on that Tella just yet, but since it's not seed buy, they can get those characters later on.
Oh, well, Kinda Nerdy Housewife found Edward.
And that right there, she is the first runner to get one of our objectives done, which is to find a second Edward. And with Edward, she has found Bay. She has found a white mage. And lo and behold, that Rosa has joined her party.
Not gonna be going double Edwards though.
Yeah, I mean, if the duplication glitch was on, maybe.
Yeah. Infinite spoons. God, can you imagine having infinite spoons? That would be great. I'd get so much done.
You could, like, power eat stuff. But, oh, and as our tracker has pointed out, Rydia happened to be in the Watery Pass, so we do have a long-term Black Mage option available for our runners. And we have Poydrak checking out some items available, and that T-Junk kind of hurts. It does add the hidden boss of this game, the inventory boss, but he is making his way over to the free item right now.
Nice lunar staff.
Oh yeah, that is true. And just like that,
so that's required.
we have a twin harp and we have a required music ready to go when he wants to. I'll admit what I like about this seed is the objectives, for the most part, on paper they're fairly straightforward, they're fairly easy to complete. So a lot of it depends on where's Water Hag and where's the, in this case, the Alt Gauntlet. So we could have a very quick seed that opens up the possibility for Eddy strats if you have enough money to buy what you need. Or if you happen to find a spoon, we have an Eddy that can go burr and just level him up and go crazy with him. So I'm curious to see how this seed plays out. The couple times I've done this flag set, it's been very diverse in finishing times for that very reason.
Also, a fun little fact from this seed is that the defeating the Water Hag cannot, in fact, be vanilla.
Oh?
Because that boss spot from the vanilla game does not exist in the randomizer.
That is a true point. And also, I did happen to notice that, I believe in Feymarch, we do have one of our required bosses. I did see a blue robe in the Ashura spot. It's a blue robe and a sparkle. So we could either have kind of a punchy water hag, or a, well, an Ashura spot powered alt gauntlet.
It's amazing how 2 required bosses here have the same overworld sprite.
Right? It's really the only way you can tell them apart is if there are spots that have multiple sprites that show up, like Baron Inn, like the Elements. If there's one blue robe, that is your water hag. But if there's more than one blue robe, that's your alt gauntlet. Unfortunately for KNH, she happened to find a purple robe with a beard in Antlion, so she is fighting Wet Noodle right now with Leviathan.
Definitely one of your better places you could find the nope rope. Actually, no, this one's the danger noodle. The other one's the nope rope. Sorry everyone, I forgot the lore.
It's the baby noodle. So what's interesting is Poitrak is doing a little bit of siren grinding. Early gets some levels on both Kane and Edward. And meanwhile, we did find some Hanzo steel out of the Antlion Cave with KNH, which for right now she can pretty much just put on the mantle next to Bedward and stare at it and go, Edge, where are you?
Poitrak got snuck up on by an egg.
I love the back attack eggs and then the being the surprise attack. It just, really? How do you... what
Oh no, an egg!
You hold up an egg. What is this, a rock? Oh, and the wonderful Moonblaze Wolf.
That's next to Iran.
Ah, fair. And also the wonderful Moonblaze Wolf says, Dijon, it's all make your own lore. Own it. Just like I jokingly call Leviathan the shy noodle when it turns and faces you and goes rawr. It does its attack, but then it turns away and it's like, oh. So it turns into a shy noodle.
Scala, if you can't make your own lore, store-bought is fine.
Well, the problem with S-Quarter is it's hard to find enough lore gold.
Yeah.
But Poitrak found a nice star veil in the open treasury, and Galahad agrees that was a great star veil. Mind the surprise third commentator from my dog.
Or
But speaking of stacked restream teams, I agree. Again, wonderful. I'm Oscar424. The wonderful Dijon Ketchup is the co-commentator. We also have the amazing Gambit017 that has rolled this seed, so direct all comments, critiques, complaints, and congrats to him. And we also have, again, XenoCat, who is doing our tracking, which it is always rough to track a 4-player race, and they are doing a fantastic job in doing so. So GG's to them. Give them some love and a follow. Again, of course, follow our runners, Poitrak, PK, KNH, Zoe. Everybody is fantastic. Give them some love.
what she said.
It looks like Kinda Nerdy Housewife is fighting an Angie wall right now. I'm not quite sure how ferocious and like how many stickers the evil wall needs to eat. Didn't look like they needed to eat much to go back to a happy wall. It is a kind of evil wall. I like it. I like it, Blaze. Though I'm not gonna lie, even though it's not a difficult spot, I enjoy seeing the evil wall going after Fabul, because it just sounds so absurd. There's a castle surrounded by a moat. Let's throw a wall at it because logic.
And Kinda Nerdy Housewife now has choose your own underground access.
Right?
And a curse string. So if you don't
Ooh.
find that spoon, hey,
you do have a bard, or a cursed bard. It does look like a lot of our runners are pretty much retracing each other's steps via Antlion or Fupool itself. And it looks like someone picked up an ogre axe. I missed who, but yeah, that's definitely not something to be upset about. Ooh, we have a second Rosa in the game, and that is on Mount Hobbs, and that's arguably my favorite Rosa sprite. The Neon Dream Techno Rosa. And our tracker is mentioning that Zoe did pick up our Quack Kid Palom. It might have been on Ordeals, but we're not quite sure.
I believe it was on Ordeals.
And I'm sure a lot of our runners will be happy to find that CPU in an area that is not needed.
Yeah, for sure. Kinda Nerdy Housewife unsurprisingly chooses Magma Key as her underground access.
I will be curious to see if any runners, when they get that hook, go and check the character or check the shops. Shopping in general, of course, is a little awkward because of the S-Quarter. Xenocat does bring up a good point. If our other blue robe just happens to be at King Queen, that could make for a very interesting situation if that gets faded.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, plus it's interesting to see how the runners are balancing a kind of tight bank account with getting items that they want or need. Because again, when I made this flag set, I wanted to make kind of the difficulty in the item purchases. I know these objectives can be pretty straightforward and easy, but I wanted to find difficulty elsewhere, and that's where both dealing with the inventory boss and dealing with, well, not being able to buy the really nice expensive things in front of you, like that Excalibur that's way too much money.
Congratulations, you invented capitalism.
The funny thing is, the first time a Moonveil purchase on, looks like Kind Nerdy Housewife side, that's going to be a very nice pickup. But the first time I ran this seed, I went to Baron first, I went to Kaipo, and sitting in that item shop, or that weapon shop, was a crystal sword. And I'm like, that's something I can't buy. Thanks, game.
I don't like this anymore. Make everyone else run it.
Right? And speaking of, in the Dwarf Castle, we have a crystal sword. Ooh, and Kinda Nerdy Housewife is showing us which blue robe it is, and it is the Punchy Water Hag.
Well, that's, yeah. You're not gonna get 3 hits off on that at this point.
As a free in quotations fight indeed. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, with a Moonveil, that goes from free in quotes to potentially free. Especially, I think the Moonveil does offer some form of melee defense. So if they're able to get that Moonveil off, if Kind of Nerdy Housewife wants to use, wants to use the Moonveil there, that becomes free. I don't think this is necessarily the best opportunity to use the Moonveil. There are plenty of other places that it can be used, but
Also,
is an option.
BK finding that the wyvern on ordeals.
Ooh, that's a Hyvern Byvern.
That's a spicy meatball.
It's like we've already had sushi, now we've gone to dragon meatballs. I'm kind of glad I ate just before this, because I'd be really hungry right now. We see Zoe putting those sirens to good use from the better starter kit. And Kinda Nerdy Housewife is trying to get that moon veil off. And she does! So she is going to be finishing up this fight. That was a smart play on KNH's side.
And it doesn't matter how much damage you do, just gotta get 3 hits off, meaning that Eddie can just sing at it and do 1/3 of the boss, 2/3 of the boss now.
Can we just appreciate the fact that a 1 HP Eddie survived Water Hag in a shot? I love this scene!
Free pass!
I love it! I love Bard Appreciation Week!
I'm sure everyone's appreciating that bard right about now.
Oh, I know they're not. Oh my gosh. So, the other thing I thought about is with this flag set, with the items being a pain in the butt, I wanted there to be a pop-off point, which is, of course, if and when they're able to find the spoon. Because for those that don't know, the spoon makes Eddie go brrr. It's a 255 weapon that, with the spoon flag on, our favorite bard can equip and turns into just a murder bard. And it's great! So yeah, if they're able to find that, the sooner they find that spoon, the less of a liability that Edward becomes on the team. Ooh! So we have gone from a wyvern, a spicy meatball, to a potentially around-the-world Odin. Gambit. Well played. So fun factoid about both Odin and then Karate in this particular spot, the second bridge fight on Mount Ordeals. They have an attack that sends them towards the party, and unfortunately we don't get to see it, but I talk about it anyway. So when they dash forward to your party, they're supposed to stop and go back. Well, because these are back attack spots, the game gets confused. So instead of stopping and going back, they just continue off the map, and on the left side, they come back on the right side, and they've officially canon gone around the world. They're like the Flash.
The Flash, but with more friction.
Well, how else does Odin create those sparks?
Oh. There's a Luca key up there at the top of Ordeals.
Now, I'll be curious to see if Poydrak decides to use the Luca key, because the warp glitch is on. If he isn't able to find somebody with warp, which we know does exist in this seed with Palom, he would have to go through the entire sealed cave to get to that item.
But it does at least put him 1 item closer to 10 key items.
He is halfway there, and, well, you know the rest of that song.
Whoa, with lizard on a chair.
I love it.
Oh, there's a lizard on Zoe's screen.
An aquatic lizard at that. That was an unfortunate miss from Palom. Those whiffs do not count towards the 3 points or the 3 attacks. Thankfully, though, Zoe is able to get past Water Hag there, and V will get their item. Though I am highly curious as to what that spicy sparkle turns out to be.
Indeed. But, I don't think we're gonna be finding out.
I think at this point the only chance we'll be able to find out is if that happens to have our darkness crystal.
Yep. Because anyone who goes down there is already going to have found the twin harp first.
Agreed. And we have found out what our second lunar sparkle is. That's in the second boss fight at Baron Inn. That's Pale Dim. So we have Wyvern, we have Pale Dim. We know where those are. There are a couple rude options. I'm always a fan of seeing Ogopogo right there because I am not a nice person, and I am hoping that Ogopogo does in fact have the darkness crystal because I'm not a nice person.
And then not only that, but then have All Gauntlet add the Ogopogo spot on the moon.
That would be great.
We love our runners very much.
This is Edwards everywhere taking vengeance. It's like, you have shunned me for the last time. Enjoy this rude All Gauntlet.
So, kind of nerdy housewife finding that wyvern.
That's one of those spots where you are suddenly very glad that Ordeals isn't tech. Unless you have found your Tella, that is not required.
Or if you have a Cecil in your party.
Agreed. Poydrak did show us what was at the Baron Inn fight, and it is just a life staff. That's not a bad thing to find, especially for his Rosa, so they'll be switching over to that, but no key item just yet. So I'm pretty curious as to when people are going to start doing their obligatory twin harp check. And as I say, oh no, PK just juked me. PK, please. See him flying near Troy. I'm like, oh, twin harp check. Oh, but music, it's required, people. It looks like Poydrak is definitely checking the easy spots for that second blue room. And being disappointed.
I didn't quite see what PK got from Sheila there.
It looks like Sheila does complete the Cocal Forge option. Sheila gave Zoe the Legend Sword. So we do have another overpriced as heck shop that they probably can't buy anything from because T-Junk and Escorter are on. Some more really shiny things that you can just window shop and shed a tear.
Don't even have a Cecil to use the Excal on.
Right. But PK is checking out the Evelyn Cave, so we might be able to see who the character is and who that one of those bosses are, the Ruby spot. So meanwhile, Zoe is joining Kinda Nerdy Housewife on Mount Ordeals for a vastly different reason, particularly V has a Tella. And Tella is kind of dead in the water until you finish your deals.
Yeah.
Ooh, we might get to see the Around the World on Kind Nerdy Housewives screen. Oh, we do!
And of course she survives it because Kane was up in the air.
That is fantastic. Well timed. KNH is getting some fantastic plays. And oh, so would you like a mop? Because PK has found one.
I mean, if you got that lunar staff from earlier.
This mop is no longer on vacation.
Oh, that's right. He does come with a lunar staff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he comes pretty decked to the nines.
I guess he forgets about stuff related to Fu because he's not in any of the tournaments.
Pretty much.
It's like you see a new character and it's like, what? Did they finally add playable Golbez? Oh, wait, that's Fu.
Uh-oh. You have spoken the curse words.
I have said the words of curse.
It's okay. It can't be worse than me just saying, here, let's have a bard week. And then just a lot of angry people.
HR wants you to find which one of these is more cursed. They're the same picture.
No. No slash ban Dijon. Dijon stay.
That's not even my full username.
I think Dijon has defeated the ban. It should be noted that PK did not check the King-Queen spot. We know who's in the Ruby spot with one of those guards, and because sprites are hard, I'm not sure if it's the Meiji guard fight or if it's the soldier and the fighters fight, but it's one of those. But we still don't quite know who is at King Queen just yet. Also, I just noticed the Fu is Dark Fu, which is probably my favorite Fu sprite.
Dark Fu sounds like the cursed arts from some martial arts film.
You mean Shaq Fu?
Not that cursed.
Let's say I played Shaq Fu recently, and I know I accepted that mistake.
The original or the new one?
The original.
I've heard the new one is actually, like, not terrible. It's not great, but it's, like, kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, but... Oh, it's not Dark Fu. It's like Cotton Candy Fu. I want Cotton Candy now. Oh. Yeah, my favorite Fu is the black-robed Fu with, like, the purple hair. And, ooh! So speaking of funness, they train Shaq and Shaq Fu. Nice. Poydrak is checking the King-Queen Evelyn spot, so we can see if there is a very cheeky alt gauntlet hiding up there.
You know, I'm not actually sure if Poydrak checked Miss City or not.
I think it might be one of those things. No, I would say if he has a Rosa, he has, but Poydrak found a Rosa at Mount Hobbs, so he found a different Rosa. Ooh.
Hey, and Zoe both fighting Dark Knight.
That, I'm glad for the runner's sake that they don't have to deal with that hook route.
And then there's Kinda Nerdy Housewife. So, 3 Baronins at once.
Meanwhile, Poydrak has showed us King Queen, and it is Beigen. Ew.
Yeah, don't wanna go near that. Just
Yeah, I'd say definite sigh of relief.
relief or wasted time, depending on how you look at it.
Well, agreed. Well, I mean, it's one of those, info is nice to have, but I definitely see what you're saying with that one, because which location can you also... Isn't there another spot where you can also see who's at the King-Queen spot, or am I just...
I think you're thinking of being able to check who's in tower.
Okay, I gotcha. Yep, that is what I was thinking of. I tried to steal the recall spell from Tella and I failed. So yeah, we're quickly getting rid of a lot of the easy to fight spots for Alt Gauntlet. We do still have, again, the Sealed Cave, I believe Dwarf Castle, which Zoe is going to check out right now. Tower is an option. Things in Barren Castle are an option. And, well, the moon. We do have a free fight as the first fight for the Dwarf Castle with the King and Queen of Eblin. Speaking of. Yeah, and given that the first fight here is a little bit more annoying than the second fight, just on HP alone, it is a nice find to find this free fight here. That being said, you would like to see it somewhere else where it's insanely annoying, like, well, anywhere on the moon.
Yep.
Our tracker does bring up a very good point, sleeping on the best Alt Gauntlet spot, the Cave Magnus Alt Gauntlet. It is a nice spot. I personally don't want to see it there since that Twin Harp is required, but as I've stated, I'm not a nice person. I want to see it at the Ogo spot, or just anywhere on the moon, really. Just send them to the moon.
Just somewhere that's not already required. More bang for your buck.
Exactly.
But it would mean longer music.
That is a very valid point. Zoe has finished that first fight, and we get to see who is the second fight of Dwarf Castle and what character is going to stop by. Oh, well then. That's a robe of a different color.
Yeah.
And a mechanic of a different... Well, no, mechanic of a very similar color. They're twins! They're literally twins! Purple and yellow! That's awesome! As pointed out, it is fairly free Dwarf Castle. That Bahamut you can either take out, hopefully before that timer runs out, or worst comes to worst, you can cast Ball, use a Star Veil, reflect its Mega Nuke right back at it if you can't defeat it in time, which Zoe was able to do just fine. Ooh, and perfect timing! Zoe was able to get one of her characters, I believe Palom, well, V has Tella too, so that's kind of a moot point, but V has access to Warp, and Warp glitches on, so we do get to find out what the key item is in the Luca Cave. Once the floating hand decides to slowly float its way to the crystal. That hand has always creeped me out for some reason.
I mean, it's a disembodied hand. Why wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, the thing never creeped me out, but that one does. Ooh, and an interesting pickup from the Sealed Cave Warp Glitch. That's a rat tail. That's a potential key item.
Too bad the rat tail hasn't been in style since the early 90s.
You're not wrong. It also wasn't the creepy rat tail with Luca having it around her neck going, "Here, I have this rat tail for you." The 100-yard stare and a smile to match.
Father never questions the necklace. Just, oh, there goes my child with a severed rat's tail hanging from her neck. As usual.
Nothing. And if rat's on the menu tonight, we have the pan to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I went from I'm glad I ate beforehand because I was talking about food to I regret eating beforehand because of what I just said.
Rat tail in the morning, rat tail in the evening, rat tail at supper time. And rat tail's on a bagel.
What?
I don't know, it fell apart.
Gambit brings up a good point in chat. My favorite's when she has the crystal sword around her neck. It's like, here, I made this. Thunk. Potato. No. Oh, it works. Instead of the potato. Rat tail. Boil it, mash it, stick it in the stew. Boil it, mash it. Chad, I blame you for that one.
Oh, get a glass hat from the sylphs. That's armor.
Yeah!
I guess. I was saying red earns.
And what's even better? Kindinary Housewife is doing her required objective with the Twin Harp!
Oh!
Required. So, we'll be hearing some music. Now, my one request, don't be Legend of Zelda. I have a streak going on of Legend of Zelda music. And I'll be honest, the only Legend of Zelda I've really played is Four Swords, and that's when 3 of my friends got together and spent the entire time throwing each other off the map and laughing our butts off at each other. So, I'm hoping for some good stuff. I know Sheep Launcher says I've cursed it. I have cursed and blessed all of us with this wonderful flag set. I'm okay with it.
Blurst.
It is blurst. KNH is doing some looting, which I can't blame her. It again, that T-Junk-esque quarter, that does make things a little annoying, just on account of you don't have money.
Oh, there's the carrot. Oh, she puts it back.
Oh. Well, we don't know what the expiration date was on that carrot. But it looks like it's about to be music time on KNH's screen.
Music time, music time, music time.
And Xenocat, just wait till hopefully somebody finds a spoon. You want to hear me pop off? Drop a spoon in here.
So quiet you can hear a spoon drop.
Sad bird noises. All right.
Hope you like town.
So, Xenocat was it Xenocat that mentioned the hidden sleeper of
I think so, yeah.
the best alt gauntlet, Cave Magnus. This is doubly required, and what's crazy is this puts KNH in go mode once it's completed.
Yep.
Unfortunately, this makes a fairly straightforward, somewhat simple, can be quick boss fight into a 5 gauntlet craziness.
But everyone else is sitting on their harps, although it looks like Poydrak might be.
So there's always the running comment: check your freebies, check your objectives.
Yep. Of course, Poydrak's going, but he won't be in go mode because he has not completed objective 1 or 2.
Now, the real panic is going to be for KNH because she knows she's getting her crystal after this, but with that party, what is she going to do? Does she grind? Does she try the Eddie strats? This is where it's gonna. This is where the decision time is going to get real.
Yeah. Well, and first of all, she's got to get a 5th party member.
Agreed.
And she didn't go check for the underground character, so no Fu.
No Fu, no Tella currently, so it's
Hey, so since she didn't get Fu, does that mean she's not one of the Fu fighters?
No. But apparently that ogre was one of the charmed ones.
Yeah. You need something else to get you through this semi-charmed kind of ogre. It's apparently 90s night here.
Apparently. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with this. But yeah, this will be a very interesting conundrum that some of our characters will have, and Kinda Nerdy Housewife has just found out the downside of a flying bat and Quake.
Yeah, they are definitely flyers.
I don't think she was expecting that to not hit 6 of the 7 on the screen.
So you always gotta assume that if something has wings, you might not be able to hit it with a ground attack.
Unless it's insert all of the dragons here. And fake dragons.
Well,
And Derek's.
well, then you've also got things like Violent Zed with,
Well, that's true. I mean, those...
I don't know why I said Zed. I live in Texas.
It is bled into... It's like in the comms booth, it kind of just like seeps into you right there.
I guess. Oh look, it's Octodad.
I'm just... Oh. It's like, that ogre was just charmed. I was expecting to make it look all happy with hearts, and then Cain betrayed. As intended.
As he is wont to do.
That was the last fight. KNH will have completed her gauntlet. She will get her item, complete Cape Magnus. That's a cheeky darkness crystal.
I'll
It does open up
always,
some grind options.
always check the moon character.
That's true. Yeah, if she still has any sirens available, there are gold dragon options up there. Again, yeah, that fifth character. I don't unfortunately think you'll get to hear me pop off about a spoon, unless she happens to take some bosses up there for EXP.
Yep.
So it's
With limited money, bosses are a free way to get a good chunk of experience.
yeah, especially given the D lunar spot that I believe has the most XP of all the lunar bosses. So yeah, now it's going to be, how are people going to beat this seed? Who's willing to take the risk and grind, and who's willing to take the other risk and try to get enough items for Eddie strats of some kind? While we have Zoe getting some grind on with those surprise eggs that are the size of, well, probably the Enterprise itself.
Which, again, begs the question, how does it sneak up on you?
I mean, look at the egg. It clearly blends in with the rest of the background. I can barely see the egg or something like that. Ooh, PK is checking that second sparkle, and that is... Oh, that is a spicy nope rope right there.
Well,
It's definitely one of my favorite spots to find Ogopogo in not the seat I'm playing in, just because of how punchy it gets.
oh gosh, still that default armor on Kinda Nerdy Housewife's cane.
Ooh, ooh, that's... Oof.
Oh, well, I guess she got a second.
Oh, yeah, that is an interesting choice. The dupes are completely valid in here, so definitely going for a more hybrid setup.
Yeah, she went and raised the whale, but didn't go to the moon, didn't check the character up there. So, who knows?
Meanwhile, kudos to PK for being able to is still fighting the good fight here. But I will say we do have a first place finisher. It turns out Jeebus has summoned the power of the Bard and has finished with a first place time of 52 minutes and 3 seconds. So get your GGs out for Jeebus Zero, who did a job. I don't see the stream, so I don't know, but congrats on winning this fantastic flag set.
GGless.
GG Jeebus.
Oh, so I got surprise egg.
It's a back attack surprised egg. It's worse. And we do have PK giving us another rendition of Town. So, again, if you didn't get enough of it the first time, DJ Spoony B has got you covered with another 5 fights of fun with the Alt Gauntlet.
In case you needed an encore of Town.
Anytime you have a simple title for a song like Town or, well, Tetris or Fever, just it makes it fantastic. Meanwhile, Poydrak is getting around to completing his set of objectives and getting that crystal ready to go. But with his food, there is the option for a potential grind, so we'll see what he does after that. But for right now, we have Town.
Isn't that Game Freak game?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's some, like, knockoff dollar store something.
Dollar Town.
Going into board game.
Getting his crystal.
Nice. So we get to see what his option is going to be for getting through this seat. We do the dollar store Settlers of Catan DLC or expansion pack, Town. But it has to be said with like the appropriate emphasis on the correct syllable of them. And meanwhile, Zoe is really making sure that they have a well-balanced diet with all those eggs. Same thing with Kind of Nerdy Housewife. Whether it's over easy, scrambled, my personal favorite, hard-boiled, or getting some eggs cracked. On a side note, looking at their very barren item menus, it's interesting to see that there aren't many items in there.
Now it looks like Zoe and Kind of Nerdy Housewife both like their eggs quaked.
I mean, that's a fancy way of doing scrambled, I think.
Scramble it in the shell, I guess.
Yeah, that could work.
Does that work? I don't know. I don't physics.
Yeah, I can't brain that high.
Although in the meantime, we do have a couple more off the restream finishes. In second place is Possum Morpheus with a time of 56:22, and then third is Roger McBain with a time of 56:28. So 6 seconds apart on those two.
GG's on the Snipe by Possum, and GG's on Roger McBain for rounding out our top 3. Well, and just like that, we have our 4th place finisher, again not on Restream, but equally awesome. Invenerable has finished the race in 4th place, and his final time is 57 minutes and 18 seconds. So GG's to everybody so far. We have Poydrak checking out the moon.
PK completing his last 2 objectives and getting that crystal. And meanwhile, Zoe has entered Cave Magnus to get her last 2 objectives complete.
Pretty soon we will get to see everyone now, well, panicking to get Z ready. Not gonna lie, I'm low-key hoping, beyond hope, that it's either, for a Z sprite, I'm hoping for either Zero Ward, because yes, and I've actually never seen Zero Ward, or a really funny, silly Z sprite. That would be the chef's kiss on this seed.
So, Cat wondering if Poydrak may have forgotten that he's got the pass, and maybe he did, or maybe he's gonna fight some bosses for experience.
Nope, it looks like he's gonna be
Siren.
dragons. Yeah, if you have the hourglasses like he does, that becomes a pretty good, easy way to get some XP.
Yeah.
And Zoe is giving us the last rendition of Town.
And Poydrak used that life just a bit too early on the Gold Dragon the first time. Oh, and Possible Orpheus sent a little raid over our way. So, thanks.
And of course, GG's on second place tonight, Possum. I hope you enjoyed the Bardy goodness.
What's your favorite type of bard? Mine's sourdough.
I can't really talk because my IRL job is safety manager at a wholesale bakery, so I have a lot of bards.
Oh, there's Cecil on the moon. So I think PK took that paladin.
I mean, that paladin is level 1, so that does become a decent, or he does become a decent, words are hard, anchor. Or if he just happened to break the game and found so much money, then you can buy that crystal sword. But chances are he's gonna be working as a decent anchor.
Yeah. That or a slingshot. He does have the ability to get that X-Cow.
X-Cow, yeah. That is a good point.
And that's where he's going.
Alchemy in chat just realized Poydrak's names.
Yeah.
I've seen some happily really good names for some of these characters. And of course, Harumph was playing the villain today. What was Harumph's naming scheme? I'd have to look it up. It was fantastic. Oh, that's what it was. There's no one better than the best bard ever. Hey, who is Eddie? So, I like the creativity from everybody. Everyone is channeling their inner bard muse. Oh, interesting pickup. Those were dancing daggers. Edward, I mean, in the end game, it's not the greatest item, but that does give Edward a little bit of help if you don't have a spoon. Which that spoon is angrily hiding from everybody. Sheep, in Bard Appreciation Week, I'm just happy to see Edward go fight Z. So we do have Kinda Nerdy Housewife getting ready to fight Z. PK is also joining Poydrak to do some grinding on the moon, but with KNH going to fight Z, there is a question we need to ask. Have you slept today?
Technically. So I was asleep until I woke up this morning.
Fair enough. The short version is, there's a lot of sprites. It's over 450 plus because Z stays where Z is, and Z can only be randomized in what Z looks like. So, for all the options out there, Dijon, I'll let you answer or ask the obligatory question.
Whose bard are we gonna kick tonight?
Oh god, if it's Zero Ward, I'm losing my mind. Come on, Bard or Silly? Bard or Silly? And today's flavor of Z goodness is... Oh my god, it's Dan! that fits the Silly for sure. So Dan is a character. That's a good way to describe him.
Yep. Street Fighter.
Dan is a special boy, much like Eddie is a special boy. Okay, thank you, Gambit. It's instead of double dragon, we have double Danon.
Like 2 yogurts?
Oh, I'd return those. So this is coming from someone that willingly uses Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, so I can't really talk. But anywho, we do have both KNH and Zoe tackling Z at the same time. So KNH did get there a hair early. I'm not sure what the timing difference is, so we'll see how this goes for both of them.
Dan wears his shoes that just say, "Here comes a special boy," every time he takes a step.
Dan looks in front of the mirror and goes, "I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me." And as mentioned in chat, Zoe does have a few extra levels on KNH, so there's going to be a little bit more damage coming out from Zoe's side.
Damage.
Yes! And our restreamer, Gambit017, is
According to Gambit, you've been barred from commentating.
Yeah, I have. It's worth it.
Barred.
Gambit, don't tell me you've water hagged enough. Oh no! So we did have to take a reset on Z. That is not good.
Oh no.
Ooh, this is interesting. We very well could have all, if Poindexter, excuse me, goes to Z, which he is, we are gonna have a quad Dan. It's like Quinting, but worse.
One less, but yet somehow so much more.
So much more.
Oh no.
It's oops all Dan.
KNH.
Oh no.
Took a wipe.
The Dan was too strong. Things Dan has never heard. Yeah, Dan 2, runner 0. That's
I'm sure I've seen at least one KNH.
fair.
I guess, kind of nerdy housewife going for more grinding.
Yeah, with lower levels, you do run the risk of getting literally big banged out of existence if you're either not nerfing it at all or you attempt to nerf it and your timing is a little off. So you do want to the happy, especially the happy place is, I want to say, for unnerfed, it's somewhere around like 2200 HP. For a nerfed Big Bang, you want to be right around at least 1200. That's the max for a nerfed Big Bang. So yeah, with the levels and the HP that KNH has, that's a little sketchy. So unfortunately, if randos and randos some high rolls, well, Dan is gonna do his Dan thing and gonna take a reset, unfortunately.
Well, we do have some inspiring words from Zoe's side, which is no impossible, it is the two.
And there's always Poindrex, no bard, no bard, bard, no bard, no bard.
Oh,
Take that as you will.
it's also a reset.
Dan 3, runners 0. That is a spicy Dan today. Now the question becomes, who are runners despising more? A permajoin required Edward? Or a Danimus? However, there is one racer that Dan was not able to defeat. In 5th place, we do have Harump finishing the race with a final time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 47 seconds. So, GG's to Harump. I'll accept your funny naming scheme, so I'll give you the GG's on that too. I will say that Cecil on PK's side is on fire.
Would you call it PK fire?
Yeah, I would. This PK's on fire. My apologies to any ears that started bleeding.
This Bard is on fire!
Ooh, Zoe is not doing so great right now. It's just a Palom, looks like a Palom and a Rosa clinging on for dear life.
Yeah.
And this is the down. There's two downsides here. One, just and mentioned in chat by our tracker Xenocat, this is the reminder that Z is no joke. All of these runners are absolutely amazing at running this game. Can literally foo the floor with me anytime, anywhere, any seed. But Z does not mess around. It also, what's the word I was looking for? I totally forgot what the second downside was, but the first downside is Z can be rude. No, Gambit. Foo the floor with me.
He almost got for a party back up, but then
Ooh.
a Nerf Big Bang happened, and that's a reset.
That's oh yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking of. Just reminding, or just it's low-level strats or low-level, low HP strats can, if everything is on point and everything goes according to plan, you can pull it off. But clearly, Dan is not being nice. Rando is randoing hard to our runners right now, so it's being very difficult.
Kinda nerdy housewife going back for another try.
And PK unfortunately did a reset, but I was going to give him some kudos on using, well, a surprisingly broken ability by Edward called Hide. It is the single reason why Eddie strats are a thing. But yeah, for those of you keeping track at home, Dan 5, runners 0.
Gosh.
This is a surprisingly rude fight for our runners.
Dan proving that he is indeed the man.
For once. But looking at KNH's HP totals, a little bit better, so hopefully she'll be in better straits. Though, you know what I just found out is Dan's probably biggest weakness?
What's that?
Bees. Particularly poorly drawn bees.
Yeah.
Yes, in 6th place, we do have Emily's poorly drawn bees. She's finished the race at the time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 55 seconds. So GG's to bees.
Yeez. I mean, yes.
Beowulf in chat is bringing up a very good point. Dan has more wins here than his entire canonical Street Fighter career. You are not wrong.
Shots fired. You know who else fired shots at Dan?
Who did?
Tybalt.
What?
In 7th place with a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 37 seconds.
And with and not just shots, he took a sniper round to Dan because he sniped out Poydrak. Poydrak's in 8th place with a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 55 seconds. So GG's to those three for getting through the surprisingly rude seed. But speaking of though, and because again, I can't bard today. My brain's turned off. Poydrak is our first finisher on the restream. So hopefully we'll get to hear Poydrak's opinion of this wonderful seed in the near future. And that little boop says that we have been joined by the Poison Dragon himself. Poydrak, GG's on that.
Could have been faster. No, considering where that where everything was being music.
What'd you think about that that Cave Magnus Alt Gauntlet combo right there?
It actually, I didn't mind it. Finding all gauntlets there, I was holding off Magnus looking for gauntlets elsewhere. So obviously, the last place you go for is where you go, where you find it. But knowing that there was a blue robe in Fame Marsh, I knew that whichever one I found after that, I could just go back. I didn't even need to check it. I just needed 2 blue robes, really.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that Z fight is giving all of our featured restreamers a really hard time. I think the current tally right now is Dan 6, Runners 1.
Yeah, I knew going into it that what I put Eddie's agility at wasn't good. I just wanted to see if it worked, and it obviously didn't. So I went with backup strategy of Fu with the cursory. It's hard to say. I was in two minds when I picked up that pass. Should I go do Eddie's strats? Should I just go do the grind on the moon that I was planning to do? And I just thought, I'm planning to do this grind anyway. I'll just go and do it. I've got this pal, and I might as well get him up there. And I don't want to go searching around all the shops again just to find star veils, just to find the items I need. I'd rather just go do the grind and then go. It's a pity that in the Eddie-centric seed that Eddie really didn't get a chance to shine in this. He didn't, except during the football gauntlet fight where he was throwing items like a champion. He didn't really get a chance to shine in this.
Yeah, we're kind of following your scroll to see where the spoon was, and there's the spoon. The spoon was in the Baron throne room. So the ruler of football, or the ruler of Baron, was ruling with an iron spoon.
I wish we never even found that key.
No, we didn't. We found, to be honest, there was very little found throughout the entire seed. It's odd. I think the best thing we found was that, we found a few things in the shops, but we were never going to really have enough money to buy them. But the white spear was really the only thing we found, and that was a reward, which is what it usually is. So, very little.
Dijon, you got any questions for Boy Drag?
No, just GG.
I hope you enjoyed the Bard Appreciation Week as much as we've been enjoying it, watching all of you run this fantastic flag set. Totally biased opinion there.
Well, of course it is for you. We've still got another day of it later on this week, so we'll hopefully get a bit more of a chance to see Eddie shine on stream. I'm sure a few of the the higher placed runners did Eddie strats and went to Cave Magnus a lot earlier, so if they had been on it, we might have seen the Bard shine in the Z fight. Today, for me, unfortunately not, but Friday's another day.
Agreed. Again, GG on your 8th place finish, and look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Yep. Have a good day, everyone.
And with that, we actually did have a couple more finishers. We had Lord Bobry in 9th place with a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, 59 seconds. Commander Leonhardt in 10th with 1 hour, 19 minutes, 43 seconds. And our next featured runner to pop in here, PK4787 with an 11th place finish at 1 hour, 21 minutes, 23 seconds. And Zoe Vermillion has finished in 12th place with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, 32 seconds. We'll get Zoe in here in a second, but first we have PK here, and PK, GG's.
Yes, GG's indeed.
So, what did you think about that super awesome flag set?
Well, after I did Water Hag, I exited out of the Fey March, and I said to myself, "You didn't check the free thing." And then I said to myself, "It's not going to be that important. I'll get back to it later." That didn't work out very well.
A little bit. When I mentioned to Poydrak, I'll mention to you that Z fight was really beating all four of you up on the featured restream. That did not turn out to be a fun fight for any of you.
Yeah, I went for a nerf and I mistimed it. I'm used to having my Zerkers on the inside, and so I lived the Big Bang, and then that nuke hit. I didn't think that Big Bang was gonna wipe that, whatever, the third or the fourth Big Bang I took. I didn't think that had a chance of wiping Rosa and Cecil at full health. And I was wrong. I was quite wrong.
Yeah, that was the chat's been keeping track of the runner Danimus versus runners. So far, the final tally was Dan 6, runners 4. So all of you experienced at least one reset.
Yeah, I tried to hide Eddie in the second one and then bring him out and get him zerked up before the Meteo phase, and that didn't work. Eddie was just hanging out, hiding for a majority of the race. I was trying to let him, have a chance to get in there and do some damage, and he just took a Meteo right to the face.
Unfortunately, it sounded like the spoon was behind a vanilla tower key. It was tower key, Baron key, Baron throne was the spoon route.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that probably wasn't gonna end up happening.
Yeah, it was a bit of going out of the way to get to it.
Yeah, I ran a practice earlier, and it sort of was it was a longer seed with a lot more checks, and I was kind of gearing myself up for that. I was saving that spot so that I could have that Cecil who, kindly showed up all the way at the end. But overall, it's a fun race. It's fun little flags. I was trying to save up for a crystal sword at the end, but I just wasn't going to cut it. I didn't have 215,000 in my inventory that I could sell.
Yeah, I would be impressed and terrified if you did.
But I know it looks like we had some other finishers, so I want to say thanks, Gambit, for rolling this travesty, and Xenocat for tracking it, Asuka for creating and discussing it, and Dijon for also being out in the booth. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for stopping by, and again, GG's.
Take care.
And we had our fourth restreamed runner, Kinda Nerdy Housewife. She's finished in 13th place with a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 53 seconds. Before we talk to KNH, we are going to talk to the wonderful Zoe Vermillion. Hi, Zoe. GG's.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
Hi, Dijon.
So what did you think of that?
So the first thing was about 5 minutes in when I accidentally took Tella, and I went, well, this seed's lost. Yeah, I had to figure out what to do from there, because I had seen the couple canes. I was planning, okay, let's just go Zerk strategy so I can find a Rosa, maybe get the spoon. And then I accidentally took a Tella and was like, okay. And then I found the Pal and was like, reflex strats, I guess.
Yeah, I was wondering why the Tella decided to join the party, other than to anger the Bard.
The Tella decided, I did not, is the answer to that.
You didn't choose the Tella, the Tella chose you.
Yeah, I don't choose the Tella life. Tella life chose me. But beyond that, like, handful of mistakes throughout. Like, getting off to that kind of start really messed up my mindset. At first, I was going to use Eddie as my anchor, then he got experience. I was like, okay, well, now I'll use Tella as the anchor, and then he got experience. And I was like, okay, I don't have an anchor. Last ditch check of a couple of armor shops for a curse ring? No? Okay. This is going to be painful. And it was.
I don't remember where it was, but I know at least one of our runners
there
did in
was-
fact to find the cursed ring.
Oh, yeah, I knew there had to be one somewhere, but once I was on Reflect Strats, I was like, okay, I don't need to loot too much, and so I wasn't going to loot for one, and I think the only armor shops I didn't check were Mysidia and Kaipo, I think, so.
Sheila's Tower had a free cursed ring.
Of course it did.
Also, fun fact: if you took that Baron key through, you could have got the spoon.
Yeah, so about that. When I got that twin harp and then I found the basically free water hag and got the pass, I was like, okay, cool. I just need the gauntlet. I have a twin harp, but now I'm suddenly on reflect strats, and if there's something at the twin harp that is nasty, I'm not gonna be able to get through it with magic. I need like attack power. So I was kind of hunting the spoon, and if I didn't find the spoon, once I got to 10 key items, I was gonna grind, and that's what I did. And I couldn't remember who was the boss at the beginning, and I was going to kick myself if it was Alt Gauntlet, but I knew I needed to do Cave Magnus anyway. And as I'm walking in there, I'm thinking, okay, knowing my luck, this is going to be either the Alt Gauntlet or the Darkness Crystal, which leads to the Alt Gauntlet. It was both of those things, and you saw maybe in like the first or second battle, my frantic just menuing back and forth. That was frustration.
I noticed that.
That's fairy zone. Yes.
But yeah, overall, considering the missteps that I made, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. 2 Wife to Z is something I haven't done in a while, but when you have a 14 agility tele anchor for reflect strats, yeah. And someone took away bluff, Asuka.
What? Oh, yeah.
Asuka took away a lot of things.
I realized that literally in the Z fight, because I normally set up a bluff with my Palam's first turn, and I was like, there's no bluff here.
What?
How dare. But I'm not gonna keep y'all's time any longer. We got KNH ready for her interview. So thank you, Asuka, for making this flag set. It was a lot of fun despite my missteps. And thank you for calming. And Dijon, thank you for joining in on comm. And shout outs to Gambit and Xenocat behind the scenes for making the stream run and lighting up the buttons so that Possum Morpheus can eat them as always.
Thank you, Zoe. It was an absolute treat to watch you run today.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. And GG's to KNH.
And speaking of, we do have KNH with us, so Kind of Nerdy Housewife. Welcome and GG's.
Hello, and thank you. That first Z fight didn't go too good. I know I was going in with pretty low HP, but then I got 2 high roll big bangs in a row, followed by a virus, and I was done.
Like I was mentioning to other runners, the final Z tally was Danimus 6, runners 4. So you were not the only. Every single one of you took at least 1 reset to Z.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, you were the first one to Z on the restream.
That does make me feel a little better.
And you legitimately broke me when I saw that Z sprite, so kudos on that.
Yeah, Danmus is a good one. I've seen that one before. I think my biggest problem, I was indecisive in a few areas. When I saw that wyvern on top of Mount Ordeals, I sat around and thought about it. And being indecisive in a race can cost you pretty big. Overall, I was pretty happy. I was happy I found a Moonveil and then immediately found Water Hag. That was convenient.
Yeah, that was a nice move on you on that one.
And I kind of hesitated on that one too, and I was like, no, I can do this. I have a Moonveil. And that seed was a lot quicker than I thought. Everything was in the overworld, so I'm glad we didn't have to visit the moon today.
Well, there's always Friday.
I generally don't do the Friday races because they're a little too late for my time zone, but I try to watch the first half before I go to bed. But it was pretty fun overall. I definitely made some mistakes, and I just got really unlucky on my first Z attempt. And I should probably learn the D machine grind, because that probably would have been a little bit faster than Sirens, especially the whole finishing Twin Harp and getting the Darkness Crystal.
You know, the thing was, you weren't the only one that used Siren Grinds on the restream. So, yeah, you were in the same mindset as at least Poidrak and PK. I can't remember what Zoe did for Vergrind.
Zoe did Sirens as well.
So yeah, all
So
the correct
Sirens for everybody. Well, it's really convenient when they're right there in Baron.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and can I say how happy I was to find Bacchus wines right in the. Speaking of convenience, right in the shop, right next to the pass door.
Yeah, that was a nice find right there.
But I think that's about it for me. Thanks for restreaming. That was a super fun seed. And I'll probably be around next Monday, if not on the restream, then just in the race in general. But thank you so much, and I'll see y'all later.
GG's, KNH. Well, now we're staring at a Sephiroth. And that's it for the night. Sephiroth's like, move aside, Dan. It's my turn. But all in all, how are your thoughts on this seed?
It was definitely an Asuka seed.
A little bit of rudeness here, a little bit of cheeky humor there. A little bit of breaking the restream or breaking the comms here.
I think I did most of that, to be honest.
It was fun. It was some good fun. But don't think that we're done with some free enterprise. We've got 3 days of free enterprise in a row. We had our Bard Appreciation Week kickoff today. Tomorrow we have our community club, the Underground Racing Club, at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Wednesday we have the Mysidian Jumping Club at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Both on words. I can't bard today. Don't mind me. Words are hard. Both of them are on this channel right here, Free Enterprise. You know how to get here because, well, you're still with us right now.
Wow, 3 days in a row. They should call it 3 Enterprise.
I'd say to anybody that also plays League of Legends in here, oh baby, a triple. Anyway.
I hope the name 3 Enterprise isn't already taken, because if it is, it's something weird.
That sounds too good to be not taken. But if it is, copyright that.
Nobody take that patent pending.
All right. But it looks like we are heading over to Lady SSJ Xenogears. Awesome name with the Xenogears reference right there. And they are also racing. Again, they are still in the Bard Appreciation Week race. Do not spoil the Bardy goodness. You spoil, you get the bonk. Or the Bard. Probably both.
You will be barred.
You will be hard Bard. But cheer them on regardless. Yeah. Again, thanks to all of our featured runners, Poidrak, PK4787, Kinda Nerdy Housewife, Zoe Vermillion, our behind-the-scenes team, Gambit017 with the restream, Xenocat823543 with the tracking. I'm Oscar424, and again, Dijon Ketchup was my fantastic co-commentator.
I'm the only one without numbers.
Poidrak too. Well, yeah.
Well, of the team, not the runners.
Good point. But on that note, we gotta go. Bye.
Bye.